everybody, welcome back to Pure Joy Paper Crafts. Today I have a project share and a little bonus project to share with you. We did break into a Christmas album. If you've been following me over on Instagram, you've seen that I have made a ton of bases from some scrap chipboard. And so we're going to go ahead and get started, and I will show you this album that I made from some scrap chipboard. Okay, so I've got a little mini album here for you guys. If you have been following me over on Instagram and watching some stories, you've seen that I got kind of a wild hair, and I really actually meant to make, I was working on a trifold folio and I wanted it to be a 6x8, and I was going to have to cut into some chipboard to make that happen. And as I was looking through my chipboard, I ended up finding out that I just had all of this like awkward size scrap chipboard. It was like 12 by 5.5 or whatever. Like I had some like pieces that were left over, and I happened to always have two of them to make like a front and a back. So what ended up happening, if you guys can see this, is I ended up making all of these bases. Most of them are just front and backs, like it's literally just the spines, but I did leave the measurements on there. I was thinking. I did make a couple of like folios, but for the most part, I was just like, I'm going to use all of this up and make all of this. There we go. That light will be a little bit better. All of these bases, and then they're all about the same size that I can start using up some 6x6 paper pad collections that I have, because I have gone through and put away all of my paper, with the exception of a couple of like miscellaneous like categories. So I was like, I'm gonna start using this stuff up. I have bins that I can't close. I have a craft fair coming up in October. I'm gonna do this because usually a 6x6 is really like a good size for me to be able to get done. And usually what happens is I can get a 6x6 like album or this like size paper pad done, and then I can make a little bit of things left over from the scraps. So this was where it all started. And the first album that came out of that, because I went through and pulled a bunch of paper pads out, was this little guy. So this album, oh, where's my ruler? These are going to end up being like funky sizes because I just did whatever was in the craft room, like whatever I had left over. So this is a 5.5 by, I'm going to bet it's a 6. So this was probably like I had a 12 by 5.5 piece of chipboard, and I just cut it in half at the 6 so that I had two of the same. And then I used up my scraps to make the spines. And the collection I used on this is called The Magic of Christmas by Echo Park, designed by Lori Whitlock. I had one of these, 2 sets of ephemera. As you can see, it's gone. I did throw some scrappies away because I just decided I was done and I wanted to be done with this pad. And they always have like the holes in them. So a lot of them were the holes, or they were awkward sizes that weren't going to fit on my spare project that came out of this. So I was like, I'm just throwing these away. I'm not going to stress about it. So this is what we've got. So on the cover, I've got a 3x4 that I have trimmed down to fit and matte on gold. You can see I've got the gold stitching on there, double matted with the red from my stash. I've got flowers. I believe this is a Prima flower. And these I think are Hobby Lobby flowers. I really don't know because I take them all out of the packaging. And then a cute little bow here, which shout out to Tiffany over at Let's Get Scrappy. She just did a tutorial on how she makes all of these, and so that's where I was able to learn how to do this. And then we've got our spine here. I don't love that I changed my stitching. I should have left it as zigzag, but sometimes, if you guys know and you stitch on paper as well, if you do the zigzag on these like tiny pieces of paper, sometimes it comes out really odd. So I don't know, don't love it, but we tried. And then the back does match the front just without a cut apart on it. So on the inside, we've got a gusseted pocket with some little cut aparts. This is just, a little tiny, like I think it's a 2x2. And then all of these I made into little booklets for the 3x4s. And these pockets are gusseted, so you can chunk that up a little bit. And then both of these signatures are the same, which I'm very excited. I learned how to do the L hinge. So much easier than a traditional hinge. Where have I been? Why was I sleeping on this? I cannot believe I went this long without knowing about this. But it's amazing, and I love that we get this extra little gusset, so even though these aren't quite square, they still appear square and they look better. So we've got a magnetic little front flappy here. Everything's double matted. Pocket on the top with a pull out. I don't love this ribbon that I used up top here, but it is what it is. I wish I would have done 2 holes and then tied it into a cute little ribbon on the top instead of these little flags, but whatever, it is what it is. Okay, and then you flip it, and then you've got another flap that opens with a top on it and another little pocket with more little booklets. And I guess I didn't do all of them. I thought I did. So magnets are in there. This signature, these are only 2 signatures because I think this is a 1.5 inch spine. So trying to keep it small, but room to chunk it up. And then I can change. You can see that I did green here, and it alternates with the red, which matches this red. Another pull apart, pull out. Sometimes when I film, I just wonder what's going on in my brain. And then, like I said, they're exactly the same. So this one also flips up with little to-dos in here. And this fell apart on me. And then a couple more here in the back in this back pocket. I didn't want to have to think very much. And I was able to use, I've got tons and tons and tons of scrap black paper. So trying to use that up to make some of those cut aparts and the pockets and stuff, so that I'm not cutting into, this is not what I want to do. Psych. I don't like the way this fat ribbon makes those awkward. There we go. Much better. Not at the bottom when you do that. Just leave that. It's that. Sorry. I'm not finishing a sentence here because I'm thinking too hard about this bow. I just need to let it be. It will be fine. Okay, so that was the main project that I made, was this cute little mini album. Like I said, trying to get all those bases used up, pump out a bunch of projects here. What I did end up doing with the scraps. Okay, I'm trying to be a lot better about this instead of just throwing them back in the bin, especially because these are 6x6s that don't necessarily have collection kits that match them. Was I made some cards out of my scraps. So you can see these are the strips that were left over that I cut off to fit some of those pages, and then these are the ephemeras, and then anything a little extra came out of my stash. I've got tons of enamel dots, but they pretty much all have the same format. I'm just trying to use up those strips and then have a focal point of some sort of cut apart on them. And then I'm getting really into, since I cleaned, I was anything I don't use over the next year after I've cleaned is going. So, there's some little buttons on that one. That one's got more nail dots, and this one's got buttons on it too, the little truck. But haven't made cards in forever, but I was I'm going to use up these scraps, and then I can just go dig out, these little embellishment bits that I've got laying all over my craft room that I just never open and use, because I hate embellishing more than anything on the planet. It is my least favorite part of the project. I'm great at building the base. I kind of struggle a little bit with building the pages because I don't love coming up with it myself. If I can follow somebody, it's awesome. And then I love the paper matting part. I love getting to mat it all up and pick it and do all of that piece. But otherwise, I'm just no, I hate embellishing. I hate making all the little cut aparts that fit in the inside. Can't do it. I don't like it. But anyways, that is my project share for you guys. Please make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, go over to Instagram and follow me on Instagram, so you can catch, you know, some other extra little tidbits behind the scenes. You don't want to miss some upcoming videos. I've got lots of hauls coming. I've been buying all of the Christmas paper and fall paper that's coming out this year. I can't help myself. There's so much cute stuff coming. But this was a project. I am working on things. I am getting things done. So, like I said, like, comment, subscribe, do all the things to support the channel, and I will see you guys in the next crafty video.